Hi folks, Dave with DBS Tech Talk, and today we're going to do a comparison between the Sennheiser HD700 and the Focal Elex. This is going to take a lot of coffee. Get into position here, and first off, both of them come in very nice packaging. The HD700 comes in a nice box with a little bit of branding on the bottom, and it says HD700 across the top, and a slight darker picture of the headphone. And then when you open up the box, you get a very nice protection case, and you open it up and they're displayed very nicely in there. You got really good foam inserts, and they're not going to bang around. The Focals, on the other hand, come in a box from Massdrop. Come in this big huge thing. Bear in mind, mine got damaged, so it's not premium looking, but it is still give you a shot of what it looks like. You open it up with the magnetics, and you got the really nice foam there, and then the headphones sit in nice and snug, and then down inside you got a little flap and your cables go down in here. Overall, both are excellent. Both offer good protection. Your headphones aren't going to fall out, and it makes you feel like you're opening a premium piece of headphone when you open these. And yeah, you are. I mean, you're paying good money for both of these. So how do the headphones compare? Well, when you open up the 700s, first thing you're going to notice, light plastic build, but it still feels really good, and it looks really cool. It's got a nice design to it, very sci-fi-ish looking, great padding. And then when you put them on your head, they're just comfy and very minimal. They don't look super huge on your head. They don't stand out in any way like that. And very sharp looking. When you pull out the Focals, on the other hand, first thing you're going to notice is, man, these things are big. They're clunky. They're heavy. All metal build for the most part. Nice padding. Very nice thick pads. And then when you pop them on your ears, they're like pillows. And that weight doesn't matter, but they're a lot bigger than the Sennheisers. They stand out more. They make more of a statement when you're wearing them. Both are open. Both of them do not isolate at all. Your neighbors will hear everything that you're listening to. Very nice build. Cable wise, Sennheiser comes with one cable, and it's long. Very long. It's 10 foot long. Has a nice flat build to it with fabric covering. Very nice strain relief. Goes into a 1/4 inch. No adapter included. Goes up to a nice split, has some nice branding on it, just like the 1/4 inch does. Goes to rubber, and then goes to your 2.5s with the proprietary Sennheiser connector. Nice cable, little too long. Should be more about 6 or 7 foot long instead of 10. Overall, very nice. The Focals come with 2 cables. Your single-ended one, just like the Sennheiser, it is a flat cable. This one is a little more stiff, has a nicer fabric feel to it, but is still kind of stiff, like the Sennheiser. And then has a nice split. Same material, goes all the way up, and it goes into 2.5s, but they're circular, nothing special, so you can use pretty much anything. Goes into a 1/4 inch. very nice cable, shorter, it's about 6 foot long, and works a lot better. Also, you get the same material, same build, but with an XLR balanced cable. Both cables extremely nice. Let's clear these off here. We don't need the cables. All right. Now, for the, let's move the camera. See if we can do this left-handed here. There we go. All right, for overall comfort and build, I would say it just depends on what you're looking for. They're both very well built. Both of them have no issues with durability. They're both rock solid built. Just depends on, do you want the more light feel or the heavier duty feel, and do you want the cool slim look, or do you want the more I'm the boss type of look. Both comfort wise, you can't go wrong with either. They're both very comfy. If I had to choose between the two, I actually prefer the comfort on the HD700s because they're just a little bit lighter, and they have the D-shaped ear cup instead of the oval shape, egg shape like the Focal has. But they both fit very nicely, and around the ear, don't get anything touching the ears. But overall, I would say comfort wise we'll go to the 700s, but I like the look of the Focal a little better. This is kind of my look. I like black, and it just kind of calls to me a little bit more than these. Can't go wrong. 10 stars on each as far as build quality and comfort. Do not have any complaints there. Sound wise, before we get into that, let's just say comparisons are only between these two headphones. Anything that is mentioned is just between these two headphones, not all headphones in general. So it is a comparison between the Elex and the HD700, not the Elex and HD700 against every other headphone available. This comparison is only for these two headphones. How do they sound? Both are unique and both are amazing in their own right. We'll start with soundstage. The HD700 is wide, massive, deep, and very well spaced, and has good details in between. The Elex is not as wide, has very good details, very good spacing, and has a 360-degree all immersive sound, and is more intimate when it comes to the soundstage. Mids. The HD700s are slightly recessed. They have very nice timbre to them, excellent tone, sound very natural, very smooth, and are extremely detailed. They are lush and romantic. Probably the nicest sounding mids that I've ever heard. The Elex, on the other hand, has very nice timbre to them, very nice tone, sound natural, have very good details, and are smooth, but are a little more forward and a little more intimate. But I still think the 700 has the more overall better sounding mid. I think it's just a little more clean and a little more detailed, but it's very minimal. Very, very minimal. but I think the 700 has it just by a smidge. But if you're looking for something more forward and a little more intimate, the Elex would be the one, whereas the 700 is slightly recessed. Bass wise, they're both very well extended, very detailed, and very, very accurate. But the 700 is very balanced and very flat, very, this is how it's supposed to be, and that's it. Nothing more, nothing less. Doesn't have good impact, doesn't have a lot of thump, doesn't have a lot of extra to it. It's just the bass is there. Whereas the Elex adds a little bit of warmth to it, a little bit of color to it, and it gives you that fun factor a little bit more. It's still very accurate, still very detailed, but it has a little extra to it, and you can feel the bass. Whereas in these, you just know it's there. You just can't feel it. Treble. Each is well extended. Each is very well detailed. Each one has amazing clarity and amazing detailing. But these are brighter, more airy to them. Whereas these are more silky smooth and don't reach quite as high, but still have more impact and more again of the fun factor to them. Very analytical, very neutrally sounding. They aren't quite there, but compared to the Elex, they are. The Elex is more of the balanced, silky smooth, just I could listen to this treble for hours. Non-fatiguing, fatiguing. Overall, which one do I prefer and which one do I recommend? You probably guessed it, and that is the Focal Elex. The Sennheiser HD700 is for someone who wants a lot of detail and wants it to be clear and wide and right in front of you. It's like you're at a concert and you're sitting on the front row directly in the middle of the stage and everything's happening in front of you. The Elex, on the other hand, is for the ones that want to get the immersive all around. I want to be in the middle. I want to be on the stage. And that's the way these are. And it sounds like things are going around you, all around. It's very, it gives you very emotional. I love the sound of the Elex. I like the sound of the 700s. If I want to hear the details and the clarity and just the pure imaging of a song, I'm going to listen to the 700. But if I want to actually enjoy the song and I want to be involved and get my toes tap in and maybe sing along a little bit, the Elex is for me. Amp wise, I find that the HD700 is only enjoyable on a tube amp. I find that it adds just enough to the bass and warms up the mids just enough, gives them a little bit of a warmth to them, and tames down the treble just enough that they're enjoyable. On solid state, I find that they're too analytical, too peaky, and on the edge of being sibilant. The Elex play with everything and play with everything very well. So depending on what your mood is, the Elex, you can play it with anything and you can get a little more detail, a little more clarity, a little more analytical sound by playing it on solid state, or you can get a little more warmth and a little more gooiness and a little more fun playing it on a tube amp. Or you can play it on the CTH Cavelli Tube Hybrid and get a little bit mixture of both. I just find that the Elex is the better all-around headphone, and the HD700 to me is a little too boring in business. It's like the guy that in the office that is all about work, and if you're not working, you're not doing your job, and if you're having too much fun, or if you're joking around or you're talking, you're not doing your work, and he's just that guy that knows everything about his job, but you don't hang out with him because he's just boring. Whereas the Elex is the guy that still knows what he wants to do, still gets his job done, but at the same time, it's fun to hang out with at lunch and to invite to activities outside of work. I've enjoyed the HD700, and I appreciate the subscribers sending them over so that I could review them. It's been interesting to compare them. If I had to recommend the 700 or the Elex, it depends on what your preference is. My preference is not the 700. My preference is the Elex. So, this has been Dave with DBS Tech Talk. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you on the next video.